Hi there, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'll be sharing another interaction that I had with the universe. So, this past weekend, I had no plans again on going anywhere, but my son, he insisted on going somewhere fun. And he decided that he wanted to go to Chuck E. Cheese. So, we ended up leaving the house. And before I got there, I had stopped to get gas. So, while I was at the gas station, I had went inside because I was just putting $20 in my gas tank. So when I got to the cashier, I'm like, "Can I have $20 on 6?" And the man's looking at the screen and he's looking at me and he's like, that's strange. It looks like there's already $20 on 6." He's like, "Are you sure you gave me the right pump number?" And I look outside and I'm like, "Yeah." And I checked it a few times before I came in. So he was like, there's already $20 on pump 6. So at that point, I'm like, okay, I'll take it. He's like, "Hold on a minute, let me get the boss." So he calls the boss and the boss clears the screen. But in that moment, I did have to pay my own $20 for the gas, but in that moment, I was questioning if I was somehow tethering in between two different timelines, because what are the odds that I walk in to ask for $20 on pump 6 and there's already $20 on pump 6? Like, that just doesn't happen. So after that moment, I was just really optimistic about the rest of the day. So me and my son get to Chuck E. Cheese, and before we went in, because I was in a good mood and I was feeling optimistic, I'm like, "Universe, show me how good it can get." So we go in, and I went in with no expectations, but we go in, he loads up his card with points, and he starts playing games. So a little after we had got in there, I noticed this big sign that says "You won." And I took that as a sign because I like to look at things like that as a sign when something really catches my eye. So he's playing all of these games, and at some point while we are there, and I'm just standing on the side watching him play a game, and some little boy randomly walks up to me and he's like, "Can you play Jurassic Park with me?" And in that moment, it was so odd to me because I'm like, there's a ton of little kids in here, and out of everybody here, he walks up to me and asks a grown adult woman to play Jurassic Park with him. So I'm like, well, if you wait just a minute, when my son is done playing this game, he can play the game with you. So we ended up going to the Jurassic Park game, which was on the other side of the play area. So we were on opposite sides from where the Jurassic Park game was. So as they're at the Jurassic Park game, they ended up playing the game at least 5 times. So I was standing there for a good while. But while I was standing there, since I didn't have anything else to do, I started affirming in my mind, and I wasn't doing it for any specific purpose. I was simply just doing it to avoid having random thoughts while I was standing there. I was just intending on being in control of my thoughts versus allowing random thoughts to just come to me. So I'm standing there just affirming in my mind, life is always getting better for me and things are always working out for me. And I was just repeating it over and over and over. And as I was doing that, some man walks up to me and he's like, "Excuse me." He was like, "We're about to leave, but there's 70 points still on this card and you can have it." And I'm like, "Thank you. I really appreciate that." So after that, I get excited because now I can play games. I don't have to just stand here and watch my son play games all day. So I start playing a bunch of different games. And at some point, my son ends up running out of points, so he was using the card as well. And towards the end, right before we left, at some point he took his it was like this wristlet thing that he had to keep track of his heart. He took it off and he lost it. But everything ended up working out because by the time we got them playing games on the card that the man gave us, he ended up having like 338 points on that card. So he was able to get some prizes that he wanted. And I feel like that whole scenario was definitely like divinely orchestrated, simply because the random little boy, he comes up to me. He could have asked any kid to play the game with him, but not only that, it was like where the game was that he wanted to play, it was in the area where the man was. So let's just say the little boy never walked up to me, the man probably would have never seen me because I was all the way on the other side of the play area. And then too, another reason why I feel like it was divinely orchestrated is because that man, he could have saved that card for his kid and they could have came back and used it another time, or he could have gave it to anybody else, but he gave it to me. So that's why I believe it was definitely divinely orchestrated. Also, I was really grateful for the experience. And if you happen to be in a good mood, I'll say anytime you're in a good mood, try it out. Say, universe, show me how good it can get and watch what happens for you. And if you happen to have a great experience with it, let me know. Like, put it in the comments. I want to hear what you guys get out of it because I've been having a good time with it. This has been my third time using that technique, and each and every time it's been fun and interesting for me. But that's the end of my story. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you all have a beautiful day.